Good morning. I'd like to call this special board meeting to order, please. And thank everyone for being here. Now then I'll ask you to call the roll, please.
Carol Brown.
Present.
Maxine Drew.
Present.
Janie Humphries. Here. Brenda Jones.
Present.
Wanda Brownlee Page.
Present.
Darlene Nguyen.
Here.
Stacy Yeager.
Present.
Thank you. Now, ask for approval of the special agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion been made and second. Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposing? Hearing none, the motion carried. Thank you. All right, now report. Report, board committee report on administrative tier study.
Good morning, and thank you, Madam President. What is coming to you is a letter of, it's a report, I'll say report of the committee. The committee met Thursday morning at 8 a.m. We discussed the scope of services, and with that in mind, determined that the administrative tier we would ask to review the job descriptions, credentials, and such, and industry standards of the tier minus the library and the police department. And that then, if you're familiar with the organizational structure, then you know that it also pass that down to, please. One or two?
Just one.
So at this time, I'll move to accept the committee report and to recommend the hiring of the consultant. You have, and I'll stop there.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Motion been made and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposing?
Aye.
I'm not understanding what it is. No.
Okay, do you want a discussion now?
Yes, because I don't know.
Okay. Remember that we are having a self-study of the instructional component with the KISA, is that correct, Ms. Westphal? I always call it ESSA, but it's a KISA.
Yeah.
KISA,
Yes.
that we have an outside visiting team come in to look at our goals, objectives, stuff like that for the State Board of Education. You know what we're talking about that. It was the belief that as we move into this new era, that as board members, is our administrative tier, their jobs, what they do in compliance with our board policies, and that are their jobs and their salaries and credentials consistent with standards of industry. And standards of industry mean, what do school districts do in principals, instructional coaches, that like that. So I characterize it as a self-study of the administrative tier minus library, police department. And the administrative tier is based on an organizational chart that is posted. So the scope of services in your first paragraph, compliance and implementation of board adopted policies related to recruitment, hiring, assignment of compensation for administrative positions, second paragraph, not limited to job descriptions, review administrative procedures that implement board policies and provide recommendations for compliance if non-compliance is found. And you would have to tell me, Susan, how many people are involved, but it's upwards of 50. There's probably about minimum 50 people in this upper tier.
On the work chart,
About 30
30.
as
maybe.
directors, right?
Other than people under that.
Other than the people who are under them.
Okay, depending on how low you're going, if you're going into the teacher leader, that,
You're going into the instructional coaches, which is interesting. Last year's organizational chart called it teacher leader. This year, our organizational chart called it instructional coaches, but it's the same box.
And you said the state school board started this.
State school board, no. State Board of Education, we're having evaluation for accreditation. And it includes primarily the instructional component. This is the administrative component.
No. From the state level down to all the boards.
No, this is just our own school
But I'm just
district.
saying that other boards
The
are taking,
CASA?
looking.
I don't know what other boards are doing. I'm sure they have. We can sure call people and find out. But for our purposes, as we move into our new era. A clarification, we had a motion accepted to accept the recommendation, correct?
except,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Do we need another motion? Great,
What was, the motion was to accept,
the recommendation.
Accept the report.
Accept the
Accept the
report
report.
and the recommendation to hire and perform the audit.
I don't know if you need a separate motion to accept the contract or not. And is that covered in the first motion? That's what I'm
Well, if
trying
you
to.
hire, that probably means to accept the contract.
Do we have a contract?
It's on here. You have a letter of employment,
I
same
need a
thing.
copy for that.
Yes, sorry.
I understood the motion to be to hire the company.
Yeah, then you're approving the contract.
But still, if there's any question, we sure need to discuss things.
I didn't hear what you were saying. The
What
last
she
part.
said, or what I said?
What you said.
I said there's still, we need to discuss things if there's not any, if there's some question. I mean, no one cuts off discussion.
True. I just need some clarification on, I didn't hear all of what you said. Your committee met.
8 o'clock Thursday morning
Okay.
Okay, wait, excuse me. What committee is that?
to discuss
The
the,
committee from the state?
no, us. Dr. Yeager, myself, Ms. Brownlee.
Oh,
Remember at the last meeting, we voted that. You were here.
yeah, I know, I was just trying, I didn't realize it was this, okay. I was trying to remember who the,
Right, we
committee.
followed all proper procedures.
right.
I don't think, Ms., were you finished?
Yes, I'm,
Okay.
okay, thank you.
Any other questions? So what?
All right. Move on.
Thank you. And we'll have a report from Ray and Associates on the progress of the superintendent search.
Well, I'm going to give you a document, if that's all right, that we'll take a look at for a second. Where do you want us? There? Here? Here? Okay.
Definitely. Beautiful paper. Brenda, that's beautiful paper.
Purple paper, that's right.
Yay.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
How's everybody again on this lovely Saturday morning in Kansas City, Kansas?
Great.
And in New Jersey, let me just say, when I left, it was raining. 2 weeks ago, it was raining. And I spoke to my wife this morning, and it's still raining.
Oh, my goodness.
And I come here, I was here yesterday, I did some activities yesterday, and the weather was nice, hot, but other than that, it was fine. So, and this morning, we're glad to be here again. Okay? A couple of things we're gonna do before we go into executive session. We're gonna go over the process Brenda's gonna go over the closing date as of May 24th, and as a result of what we have here, she's gonna go over that. I'm gonna talk about the timeline, and I'll be talking to Susan so we can give you a revised copy. But however, we will give you what we have now, and I will tell you where the changes are based on our conversations with Brenda and with Susan. Okay?
All righty. So the vacancy closed on May 24th. And at that point in time, we had 65 completed applications. So if you look at this sheet that I handed out to you, you'll see that we reached out to over 1,000 individuals to encourage them to apply for the position. And you know, some people do, some people don't. Some people are interested, and some, you know, they're in their own comfortable spots right now. So as you look down on the front page, you'll see the number of applications that we requested, not that we received, and the states that we sent inquiries out to. So like, if you look at California, we sent out 78 requests and invitations to apply for the position. And so look at Illinois, we had a big group there that we invited to apply. So that's kind of how this breaks down, to just give you some information on that. Now, if you turn the page, number 4, so out of the contacts that we made, as I said, we had 65 completed applications, and today, when we go into executive session, you're going to see that we narrowed that 65 down to 10. And the 10 individuals that we are going to share with you, their background, their credentials, their Spark Hire video. From that group, you'll probably be able to choose 6 or 7 individuals that you would like to bring in for face-to-face interviews. So, you know, the reason that there were 65, and I think I may have told a couple of you we had 63 or 64, is because things come in over the weekend, and we never want the mail or any delay to interfere with your search, so we give a little wiggle room there. I just wanted to remind you, on the bottom of page 2, we screened all of the applications for your qualities, the things that you told us and your community told us were important in the next superintendent, those 30 qualities. So the profile of the next superintendent for Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools is on the bottom of page 2 and the top of page 3, just to remind you what that looked like. So we vetted those 65 applications that we received based on that criteria, their educational background, their experiences, what kinds of districts have they been employed in, are they currently superintendents or deputy superintendents, do they have the skills that you've identified for your district, the innovative demeanor, good communication skills, you know, rational decision maker, somebody who can reach out to the community, somebody who's had experience in an urban setting. So that's how we screened out the applications and got to 10. So on number 11, the top, on the 3rd page, the top 10 candidates came from the states of Colorado, Illinois, Kansas, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Oklahoma, and Texas. So that's the group that you'll be looking at today. And then, honestly, I will tell you that this is a very good group of candidates. It's a very solid group. Highly educated. We've got Harvard-educated applicants. I mean, I think you're going to be very pleased. Now, of course, and you know this from your own worlds, people can look really good on paper, but you need to meet them.
Right.
And so that's why this video piece that we do, the Spark Hire video, kind of gives you a little glimpse into how they behave in front of a microphone, because they're, you know, getting questions to answer that they haven't seen before, just like if the media were in front of them, asking them to talk to them. So it just gives you a better feel for what they're like. The other thing I would tell you before we do executive session videos is these are not actors. These are superintendents who are doing, you know, their day-to-day job. So, you know, don't expect to see, you know, an Oscar award-winning performance, but it'll give you a glimpse into what they're like. So after that, we will determine with we'll use a matrix to determine who you want to bring back to interview. And the way we do that is through a forced consensus matrix. It's not, let's talk about it and make a decision. It's a mathematical grid that we use. We share the information with you so you know individually this is how each one of you felt about these candidates. Then we bring back, these are your top, and I don't know where the break's gonna be. It might be top 5, top 6, and that's when we'll talk about the candidates.
Sounds
And
good.
then as your day unfolds, we'll give you examples of a draft of interview questions, because you're gonna turn this around pretty quickly, invite people to come to interview, so we'll share our draft of some suggested questions that you can modify, and we will schedule those interviews for you. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, no, I don't have a question, but today I have a thing that in a festivity with my foster sons, and I tried to get out of it, and I can't get out of it. I tried as hard as I possibly could, so I can't get out of it. So I'm going to have to leave about 9:30.
Will you
Yeah,
come back?
I don't think so.
Oh.
So I don't know how that's going to taint the process.
Well, it'll be 3 to 3. I mean, you just have 6, you'll have to rely on your 6
Yeah,
colleagues.
I have absolutely
Okay.
no problem with
All
that.
right.
But I just wanted to kind of, let you know that.
Sure. So the only other disadvantage will be that you won't know the candidates. You won't have been able to, because you can't take applications with you
Right.
or see the videos. So that will be a little bit of a disadvantage. So you'll just meet them for the first time.
Sure,
But-
sure.
It's not a way that he can meet on Zoom or remotely with someone.
But we're, they're
No.
doing an executive session.
This is an executive
Oh,
session, yeah, we
Yeah.
can't really do that. So that's
That's
unfortunate,
my
but I
loss.
understand.
Yeah,
All right, well, let's
I
go.
understand.
All right.
Let's get it started.
Okay,
So we can see it next
what
week.
we're gonna do now, I'm gonna give you this, we've given you this before, but I think just so you can talk to your constituents about where we were, where we started, where we are now, and where we need to go. You would just pass it down, please.
Where is it included where the community, such as the pastors and community, wanted a chance to see the interview candidates? Where is that in the listing?
That's not in the list.
Right.
That's not in your timeline because that wasn't discussed at the board.
It's not in the timeline.
Okay.
Because that's, what we did, when we reported on the constituent meetings, that's when the community and anybody else was involved. Those people were involved then. Now it's strictly up to the Board of Education to make decisions on who the people may be,
We got,
okay?
okay.
Okay.
We have no, this is my.
Right,
Dr.
okay,
Rush.
you have one from before, but what I wanted to do, we always try to update you. Now, if you look at where we are now, we are on June 2nd, this is today, and you see what we're doing today, exactly what it says. And a few things have changed, and we will always be in touch with your board president and your board clerk to make sure that we're on the same page from our office and to all of you guys. So if you look at down the second where we are now, and we changed because as I was speaking to Susan and your board president, we realized that today and to have interviews Monday and Tuesday would not be fair to let the candidates know. They know that we're seeing the videos today, so we want to give them more time. So after talking, we decided to change those dates to the 11th and the 12th. That's after talking, because it always said we may revise the timeline depending on where we are. So the 11th and the 12th, those are the days for the first and second round of the face-to-face videos. Interviews, I'm sorry. And Harold, just like we said, you will see them for the first time. So you may have a slight disadvantage, but it'll be okay because you see them face-to-face.
Well, thank you.
Okay? Then we're gonna meet again on the 21st and 22nd of June. And it is hoped at that time that you guys would have made a decision to name or go through the changes to name your superintendent based on our revetting them and making sure everything's okay.
Excuse me, you said the 21st and the 22nd.
21st of June, and this is not from us, this is from our conversations with your board president and also your board clerk. So we decided, we said, okay, those days are good for us and for you so far.
The 22nd, I'll be in Arizona.
22nd, okay, we'll
Of
see.
June, I'll be in
I don't
Arizona.
know, so is everybody available June 11th and 12th First interviews, okay.
We have the 11th and 12th, but I don't have the 21st.
So the
and
final
22nd.
interviews we can talk about,
Yeah. If we have to revise the
That
final
time.
interview, we can do that. We'll be in touch with Brenda, you, and with Susan, okay? So we can change that. So, we'll look at that again and revise that, all right? But this is for, in case your constituents ask questions about where we are in the process, this is what you tell them, because they have a right to know where we are and, what our next steps are.
And so, although we didn't put it in before about the community being able to, like the pastors and some of the other people have an input, is that just now not a factor at all? That we have no place for them at all?
Now, we've always made it clear that this is your search. Okay, the board has to make a decision as to where they'd like to go. Now, what we try to do, work with you because we know that you're on a fast track to get this done, okay? And those constituent meetings that we had a month ago, they were reported out at that time. But what normally boards do at this stage of the game, they decide themselves that they want to make sure, because the confidentiality from this point forward is crucial. Okay, so while if you invite the public in to see them, you have to invite the entire public. You just can't, unless you decide in the very beginning to have a committee of community people. Everybody will know who they are. But where we are now, it's a little difficult. But as we say, this is your search. If you decide you're going to change it, it's going to prolong the process even longer. Because if you involve people now with the confidentiality, somebody may decide that they want to double check an applicant. And as we say, these people have jobs. So we don't want to betray their trust in our firm to make sure that we deliver the right people to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So if that's it, then we can, Madam President, whenever you're ready, if you're ready for us, or ready to go into executive session,
How much time do you sit, because I'll have to
it
stay
probably should take around 4 hours
to watch the videos?
to watch
And
the
do the
videos and do
matrix.
the matrix, yes.
Okay.
yes. And you can always come back out, after 4 hours if we're not done, go back into general session and back to executive session. But
Oh, yeah.
we always say plan on 4.
Okay. I need a motion for the board to recess into executive session at, I'll say 8:40. Gives you time to move and get where you're going. And for, it says minutes, for 4 hours, and to come back at 12:40. To discuss candidates for the position of superintendent of schools pursuant to the non-elected personnel exception under the Kansas Open Meeting Act. The board will return to regular session at 12:40 with action to follow.
So move. I'm sorry.
Second.
Motion's been made and second. Take a motion to come back into regular session, please.
Second.
Motion's been made and second to come back into regular session. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposing, hearing none, so ordered. Thank you. Now we'll have a report on the interview and selection process moving forward.
Let's just give the dates.
Oh, so would you like me to do that?
Yeah, you can.
So we'll do first or initial interviews June 11th and June 14th. It'll be from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock off-site.
Just a minute, 'cause you hear that, we
PM.
change the date.
PM.
Because she has dates in here, so I'm making sure that she changes those dates, the times.
June 11th from 5 until 9 PM at the Board Attorney's offices at 10 Cambridge Circle
Circle Drive.
And on June 14th from 5 to 9 PM at the same location. We will have final interviews the evening of June 21st from 5 until 9 PM. At that point in time, The board may or may not have been able to select a new superintendent.
Yeah.
Is that all the information that
So
you need from
the
me
11th and the 14th only.
for initial interviews?
Okay, that's it? Susan?
I got it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Now, discussion regarding the interim superintendent.
And I think that, given the time frame of everything we're probably going to need, and we've talked about this for a couple of meetings, the board needs to consider retaining somebody to be an interim superintendent for a holdover period until we can have somebody hired as the permanent superintendent. And we probably need to, if we're going to discuss potential options or candidates for that, we probably need to go into executive session for that. I will tell the board that, pursuant to board's instructions, I talked to both Rand Associates and I talked to KSB for potential suggestions in that regard. So we can discuss those in executive session, what those suggestions.
Yep, today.
Yeah.
Okay,
So moved.
for how long? I
Figure out a
got-
time.
I forgot a time, but.
You want to say 20 minutes and we hope we can get it done.
At 10:10.
Okay.
Okay, I need a motion for the board to recess into executive session at 1, oh, that's 12:50. 12? No, 12:50.
12:50.
So moved.
And to come
Second.
for,
Oh,
No, she got it.
oh, you still talking? I'm
I'm
sorry.
trying to make the motion at 12:50 for a period of, did you say how many minutes?
20.
I say 20 minutes, so that would put us
110.
110.
To discuss candidates for the position of interim superintendent of the schools, pursuant to the non-elected personnel exception under the Kansas Open Meeting Act. The board will return again at 1:10
With potential action to follow.
with
May or may
potential
not.
action to follow.
So moved.
Oh, second.
The motion's been made and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposing, hearing none, so ordered. Thank you. Take a motion to come back into regular session.
So moved. Second.
Motion been made to come back into regular session. Any questions? Hearing none, those all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposing, hearing none, so ordered. Thank you. Discussion regarding the superintendent. We don't have to do
No
anything.
action right now.
No action. Okay. Everybody got all theirs? Dates, special events, anything special coming up between now and our board meetings that we're not aware of, Susan?
With that KASB.
Oh, the KASB Advocacy Tour. Yes, that's
On
the
the
6th.
Here.
Yeah. 3 p.m.
It's the 7th at 3 o'clock. Here, KSAB,
Second floor.
I think it's up here in the,
back in Conservatory. Got that on the calendar? Because it wasn't on the calendar, I just want to
Okay.
make sure you have it.
Now, that's not mandatory, you just letting us know.
No,
right?
it's just if,
Oh, okay.
and probably.
It's mandatory
if you-
just for you.
If you decide that you are coming, I probably have to register you, so just let me know. I guess I usually have to register.
Okay. Then there's no other business, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I move. Second.
Motion made, so ordered. Thank you.
All right.